player since he had, you know, his special years, you know, around the Antwerp time of things. He still is an Opera, I think, that struggles with decision making, that struggles with positioning. So you have some real weaknesses. That's the word.
Here's the good news, Jason. You get to repeat all of those points again because the game's about to start. So let's get into the action.
Thanks, Richard. That was fun. I appreciate it. 0-0. Dinko, we're getting into the pistol round.
That's usually where we start these. And we'll see who wins it today, Jason. NiP, I never have faith in NiP. Like, that's the thing. Like, as much as we've maybe talked about Heroic losing the big yesterday, should have won, but against NiP, I just feel like Heroic should win this. And they've got a lot of reps here on Anubis. And Isaac, it's a good start here as Tesses goes down first. He's going to look for a follow-up. And Isaac, nice clean hold so far, eventually getting taken down by Nerds.
Yeah, look how long he stayed alive as well for the entire rotation to come in. Maybe didn't need to go around that smoke from Mistum, so all of a sudden we're into a 3-on-3. Shush, Kixin, and Nerds. And they back out because Kixin's got good standing. When NiP try and rotate back across the map, if they just freeze Heroic and give time for this to breathe, NiP is going to assume and realize the timing is there for them to get back to the A bomb site, and then Kixin's in a perfect position.
Kixin heads down into the storage onto the beach.
He's in a less perfect position now.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised to see him work his way all the way towards beach. Like, I get it, but you're giving an opportunity for them to fall back towards Temple and cut off this mid play from your teammates. So he's got to come back to camera now and help them clear it. But now he no longer has eyes towards beach. However, NiP have not moved. They still think it's going to be a B finish, and Kixin's just like, no, it's cool over here.
Yeah, seems all quiet. Haven't seen anybody. There's no noise. Come on in. The water is warm on A. So the plants should come in, no problem here for Nerds. And then NiP on the other side of the map can start beelining back over to A. But at this point, Heroic have so much time to get into solid post-plant positions. Kixin's going to continue going to the beach. He's loving a beach day at the moment. Here's the steps, fights Wrinkle. Ooh, just be careful, he doesn't go down here. Kixin eventually wins that fight, and he doesn't see anybody with Wrinkle. So it is going to be the final two members of NiP trying to come through camera. And Shush, not a fan of the paparazzi. He's going to shut down both players coming through camera with Nerds in tow. So 1-0 start here for Heroic to win the pistol. And for NiP, we'll see if they go for the force buy.
Maui just mentioned sometimes on CT side teams who like play on their heels a little bit and kind of play way too standard and default on the CT side on Anubis can get beat. He was talking about in the context of favorites. But here, in the 3-on-3, I think NiP played this round way too scared, way too static. Never any kind of a play to get information, never any kind of a play to gain map control, to put themselves in an advantage situation. It was quiet for so long on the map in that 3-on-3. They watched the bomb run away, and they just kind of were like, you know what? Let's just hope and pray they end up coming back to this B-bomb site, and obviously not the case. They could have executed like a two-man push in canals, had a flank towards the A-bomb site, got like moved around the map, see if you can spot somebody.
Just be a little bit more active.
Yeah.
Get your steps in for the day.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to get
10,000.
I think 7,000 is the break-even point, and they recommend 10,000.
Yeah, it'd be hard to fit 10,000 in daily life. Dexter, he's dealing out a lot of damage. He's got himself quite a lot of impact with that Mac 10, a lot of money. Mistem is left alone, and he's taken out by Shush. So 2-0 start here for Heroic, comfortable in terms of taking that second, not a single player going down. So it allows Heroic's money to somewhat build up. Now NiP get to the purchase. When you're talking about NiP, Rez always enters the conversation, right? He's always a player you talk about, but Wrinkle's been the new talking point for NiP, the shining light at times for them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it, I guess, a breakout event at Pro League, but he did have, I guess, like a good event, you know, put him on the map to a certain extent, but not in any kind of way where it's like, you know, this guy's like the next big star. It's just like, oh, he's got a cool game.
He's got some game. Yeah. Well, Shush certainly has that. He's going for a B play, just looking to take some fights straight away with the open arches. They all go back to back of the site. Isn't going to get the first kill. It's going to be Isaac actually chiming through that smoke and missed him. Look at this. He's going to go aggressive. It hasn't worked out. I thought he was going to have a great chance there on Nerds, but the rifle just outmatches him.
If I'm one of these B defenders, I'm really annoyed by how like Heroic decided to open up this half. That challenge directly as fast as possible, swing towards B main. I feel like when you have teams and players who are willing to do that against you on the T side, being the B defender is really, really annoying on this map.
Yeah, but they handled it well.
They did. They got fortunate to spam through the smoke to take down Shush, I believe, as he started pushing forward. But that player up on platform is like, I don't like these duels. They're really uncomfortable.
Yeah, but look at the push from Isaac. He's pushed all the way through B main, and he's starting this flank straight away.
Now he's getting his steps.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. He's closing the space rapidly.
And beautiful utility at the A bomb side as well.
Dexter, though, is right. Oh, no, he's watching a little bit lower. Thought it looked like Dexter's crossout could have spotted Isaac out, but
what
that
happened to Kixon's gun?
I think he's wondering the same thing.
He had a Mac 10. There we go.
Got it in the water now. But look, Isaac hasn't stopped, right? He got the mid pick. He could have went back to camera, but Isaac's just walking in behind him. And damage done onto Nerds. Misses the timing just about. But there's so many players in this A bomb site that you would still imagine that Heroic are going to find it very tough to get through. So kicks down to take Wrinkle down. Oh, he finds a follow-up, and now runs to the back of the bomb site. They weren't expecting the third player. And so him just hiding has forced Nerds into the clutch, and Rez able to close it on his own.
Well, if you needed any more evidence that Isaac essentially won that round with that flank, with that push, you needed 3 defenders at the bomb site to hold on to it. So the fact that he's got the information and allows them to stack over there. On top of that, the spam kill to start. The kill on Dexter in the mid-round. Isaac does so much work for NiP in this round. First is on the board, but money's still going to be painful as they rebuy into things.
Yeah, Dexter's on the AWP. I don't think we've seen a game yet where you could point back to the old Dexter, right? He used to take over servers on his own and just dominate. I haven't necessarily seen that from him yet.
As I was kind of mentioning in that little pre-game argument we had with the desk, you think of Dexter and some of the best games he had. You think back to that match when he was in Spirit at Antwerp against FaZe, where he was going absolutely bonkers with the AWP. Those styles of games that get really scrappy and chaotic, and he's just unleashed. I think when he has to play like protocols in certain positions and good rotations and good movement, that's where I sometimes feel like he gets a little bit lost in the sauce and doesn't really know how to have his same level of impact when he's got to play the detailed Counter-Strike. And look at how Heroic is just peeling apart NiP bit by bit.
Unfortunate for NiP. They win their first round, they immediately get bodied in the follow-up. You can't really compete for this round victory, and there's not a lot of money left over whatsoever because they sustained a lot of losses in the last round, even though they shouldn't have. With 3 players stacking out the B bomb site, should have been a comfortable finish to it, but it came down to 2 players staying alive. So NiP got to hang on to those weapons, chill out in storage, carry over the 2 M4s, a little bit of utility in Kevlar, and this is going to allow Heroic up 3-1. Now, we got to see in the map stats, you know, we're talking about Anubis being the middle ground, expecting the possibility of either Ancient or Anubis coming into this game, but you see how many times Heroic have played this. Not as necessarily the most dominant scoreline for themselves in terms of win-loss record, but they have played it a lot. And just the amount of reps they've had against top opposition is obviously going to be very helpful.
Terrorists win.
It's just wild to me looking at this NiP team and how many players have been in and out of the squad. And now what we're working with right now for NiP.
Yeah, you know, I have a certain level of sympathy for the situation. I mean, sympathy might not be the right word because I think they're kind of in a position of their own making. But
understanding, maybe.
Yeah, well, because like the whole conversation around NiP, like we can meme on it and joke on it as much as we possibly want about the idea that NiP came out at the beginning of this year and said like we're aiming to be contenders in 2025, which is kind of like feels like they're sort of saying we're throwing 2024 by the wayside. But I mean, in reality, unless you're going to go out and spend a couple $1 million to get players to be contenders, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you know, you're dealing with contracts, dealing with buying players out, dealing with, you know, building a core that can attract a good player who can take you to that next level. It's a very difficult process to go on if you're like a GM trying to put together a team that, I mean, remember, this NiP org literally cratered. So it's like, you know, the rebuilding process is not an easy one to go through. So, yeah, sympathy might be strong, but I understand the predicament of, like, we don't want to just be a team that just drops a shit ton of money to be contenders. We need to build into it, and that takes time.
Well, they tried the competitive. They tried that route, right? They tried buying Device a few years ago.
And, yeah, that went great for them.
That did not go well. Well, they made a quarterfinal of a major with some real rough green pieces.
It was a good 4 months.
Yeah. And then after that, yeah, it just fell off rapidly. Not expecting much out of NiP. I loved the boost attempt there from Wrinkle. They tried to run boost him out B main and get him out there early, but Molotov came in for Heroic to stop that play from coming in. And now the play towards A is set up. Nerds is at the front of the attack. It's Rez to go down in the bomb site. Dexter's cut off and he sort of flanks through water.
Yeah.
It's comfortable here from Heroic.
Mistim needed to be way more ready with that flashbang. He needs to be throwing that flashbang as soon as the Molotov is in the air so that Rez can peek and fight instead of panic and try and evacuate. There's always going to be a tough round, though, with not a whole lot of weaponry to work with, and that last M4 is even taken away out of Wrinkle's hands. So Heroic up 4-1. Anubis starting to look good on this T side.
Yeah, great start for Heroic. There's been opportunities here for NiP, but not a whole lot. Money's going to return for the Ninjas. We'll have a Wrinkle with enough money to buy up that AWP again, and the rifle support will be there around him.
Terrorists win.
Tabson sticker.
Tabson stickers from Krakow.
Damn.
Channeling the little crouch bug.
God, that was that major, wasn't it? that was Bug Clan. AWP out for a Wrinkle. Gotta start finding some impact with that. And a decent amount of utility, not a whole lot, but medium utility, as the HUD says, Jason. That's the official measurement.
Medium utility.
Here comes an aggressive play from Wrinkle. It's one and done for a very expensive weapon.
I mean, again, that goes back to me mentioning how annoying you have to be as a B defender if you see a team just willing to sprint and challenge you in this B choke point. And once again, they go for it, so it makes for a very quick trade, and it opens up the possibility for Tesses.
Here he comes, the best Danish player in his village, and he's got himself a double kill. Isaac to go down, and that's the site overtaken.
Best Danish player in his little fishing village.
Yeah. If he's from Copenhagen, that's a compliment.
But anywhere else.
If he's from Aalborg, then it's him and Pimp, and that's not really a competition.
No,
right now.
no competition there. Shout out to Pimp. I love Pimp.
He's making some food right now, probably.
He's on his bike.
He's on that healthy
mile
gamer
27 grind. Or kilometer 60 or whatever it would be.
More like 170 or something. All right, Rez just hanging on to this M4 in the cave. Little caveman. Might be able to get a chance here on Shush, who dives down into the beach. Getting hot in the sand. Eventually, Rez able to pick up that kill, so he will hang on to the M4. Wasn't able to get back to the AWP. And for Wrinkle, I mean, you wait a long time to get the AWP out. And I like that he was confident to try and take matters into his own hands, but just with the way Heroic were playing, there was no way he was getting away from one kill, you know?
That's the thing. It's I mean, you can't even really fault them. They call for an aggressive play, and unfortunately it's at a timing where Heroic equally call for an aggressive play towards that B bomb site, so they kind of negate each other going 1 for 1. Both offers taken down in that opening engagement. 4-round lead for Heroic, and it's just Rez's M4 held on to for NiP.
Nerds has had a very quiet 10-1 start, hasn't he? 10-1. Must feel weird for Nerds and Saul, who have now just watched the majority of their former teammates in Falcons be put on the bench. They had a lot of uncertainty, leaving a great project in Ents.
You know,
having to rebuild this Heroic squad together, but now they're in a better position because they're playing.
Well, think of that whole situation at that time with that Ents core blowing up. At the time, they were like, what, a top 4 team? That Heroic team blowing up as well.
Yeah.
You know, who were also a top 4 team. And, you know, those teams had like a certain magic that they were able to find as a collective unit. Oh my lord, is that...
That's a collateral on the Deeg.
Oh, God.
You don't see that a whole lot. It's giving NiP a chance in the round.
You better
would otherwise be thrown out the window.
You better convert on that.
Yeah. Well, Jakob taking damage. He's going to go back into the storage. His teammate's starting to move through the canal.
Dexter's alone with the bomb. He's got to be a little bit careful. Smoking off Temple, allowing Nerds to come help him. But here's that push that I mentioned that I wanted to see in the pistol round. They're getting it in here. Pushing through canals, through boats, over towards A main. Tessa is going to step up to try and handle it. He will not expect 3 players.
Oh, Tessa holds down for 1. Gets traded out by Mistim. And now Dexter holding on at the back of the site. Great double. And Jakob walks right into Nerds, recovered by Heroic. A little bit of damage done off the back of a Deeg collateral in mid.
Yo, but do you see that spray from Tessa's? Missing the first 2 players, and just a bullet hits Rez, the only rifle, right in the dome. That's got to be so frustrating.
Spray and pray.
That's got to be so frustrating coming in as that 3rd player and just eating a stray bullet.
Yeah, it's always the worst when you die and
Let's see
the
this.
person didn't even mean to kill you. Oh yeah.
Oh my lordy,
That
lordy,
is
lordy.
so nice to watch.
It's 100 HP on both players to nothing.
Quite quick. Over towards A this time. Testes at the front with a great flash from Kickstand. Aggression from Isaac punished by Dexter, and now it's all on missed him. And I just love the speed that Heroic are bringing to this game right now.
I feel like NiP is like trying to play chess, but Heroic is just like, it's just...
They're playing Hungry Hippos.
I don't even know what the comparison would be, but they're like, you know, NiP's trying to set up like these plays, these smart plays, a little bit of aggression, set up a pop flash, and Heroic's just like, nope, we're gonna rush this, and we're just gonna be very simple, and we're gonna. It's like Heroic's playing checkers, except in this situation, checkers is winning for whatever reason.
Well, there's speed chess too, Jason.
Sure. Okay. Chess and speed chess. That's what you want to go with.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm glad we got to the end of that.
Yeah, we did. I was having a tough time finishing that the metaphor.
We could bring that up again at another point. As Richard would say, workshop that, Jason.
I like to workshop live.
Yeah.
I find it creates a lot
It's
more.
quite dangerous workshop
It is.
live.
It is very dangerous, but
Depending
I
on
like the risk.
controversy level.
It's the only way I can get excited is with a little bit of risk.
Oh. That's good to know. Well, if you don't turn up to call time, I'm going to have to
Yeah,
check on you.
exactly.
Well, timeout here. Second in for NiP.
That Pikachu looks sad.
Yeah, you would be as well, wouldn't you?
6-1 in the favor of Heroic, and no sign of them slowing down whatsoever.
Well, Exist. Looking around, trying to figure out the solution. Former Heroic coach, trying to figure out how to beat his former organization. And right now, they are getting spanked.
Interesting that his two coaching projects, that Heroic lineup with Cadian and the top four Heroic team, and now NiP, two completely different situations, brought into Heroic to elevate them to a point where making it to semifinals, making deep runs, but not able to lift the trophy and trying to get them over the hump in that sense. And now with NiP, where it's a complete rebuilding project, where instead of working from the top and trying to elevate, you're working from the bottom.
Yeah, that's true.
Two completely different philosophies that you have to bring in as a coach.
A unique challenge for Exist.
Nertz is like, wait, I want to go through this. Someone set me up.
Okay, Dexter's got him. Flash going in. Here comes the rest of the squad. Nertz on the charge. Can NiP finally handle an accelerated attack for Heroic? The defense were a little bit further back this time, so there's no instant opening here for Heroic to work with, but Util's coming in. Wrinkle from Brick, second shot in, and starts to build a beautiful round here for NiP. Miston moves forward. Dexter with a great shot out, but so much damage has already been done, and Dexter's now the only player within the site. Shush is starting to move through camera. There is still a way back into this round, but with the pause, Rez realizes this is a possibility and has eyes on that push from Shush.
This is where we could see some flashes out of Dexter, though, because he's got no other options but to just frag out. And he's always felt to me like a very momentum opper. No bomb in his hands and running out of bullets on the AWP, swaps out to the AK. So economic damage would be great. Get a couple kills. Going to be really tough.
Yeah,
really
that
tough.
double stack, impossible for Dexter to make it happen. And NiP, they just playing a little bit further back in the defense. It didn't allow Nerds to take an opener. And they knew that they were coming so early on, and they could adjust. They can get the utility out, slow it down.
And this
Rico positions himself perfectly.
Yeah, that second shot, you'll take a little bit of luck on that one. First one is the smoke broken open by Nertz himself and picked off by the op. And this is the style that Heroic's been playing with, so you can't really complain about it because it's netted them 7 rounds. But that is a round where they've applied that pressure with the flash of the smoke. They've had the cross lurk smoke. They have a Molotov down. They actually could have paused, pumped the brakes, gone elsewhere after applying that much pressure to the bomb site.
Well, they're applying pressure back to B again. This is something they were doing very early on in the half, but hasn't worked out for Kickstand. Wrinkle diving down. I love that play. He's confident. He's willing to take some risks right now, and he's got the AK out at range, taking a fight against Nertz, and good luck winning a fight against Nertz when you switch out to the rifle.
I think NiP, philosophically, in their head, have started to understand that this game is going to have some puggy elements to it, so you got to respond in kind to a certain degree, and realizing if... Oh, beautiful shot. If Heroic's going to be this fast and this aggressive to choke points at the opening of rounds, there's going to be some details missed, and here, it's the dropout window into canals.
triple set up in mid right now from the CT side. Dropped it as 2 members from that kill from Shush, and look at this, the push of the smoke from Isaac. If he continues, he is going to find Nerds, but oh, close. Close from Nerds, but unable to take that shot. NiP finally responding to the level that Heroic want to bring to the server.
And that's back-to-back rounds. They've really shut down those aggressive plays where they couldn't handle it earlier in the half. Now they've gotten a little bit of wind beneath their sails. So let's see if Heroic switch things up at all. Let's see if Kixon decides to, you can kind of feign for that kind of fast-paced aggression and then play the round slowly, force out some really early utility because you know NiP is going to be nervous about it. You can do some things with the pace and the style you've set up as Heroic.
Wrinkle getting up on the table in A main.
And they do just straight up slow it right down.
Yeah, I think they probably realized that was the end of that game plan.
Yeah, we got what we wanted out of it. They figured it out. Let's not keep trying to break down the brick wall. Now let's kind of these last 2 rounds switch into a different style.
Especially because they know the money's on the brink of collapse now. If they lose this round, then NiP have a great opportunity to pull 5 rounds into the CT half. Although still contact towards B main. They throw the Molotov out towards jail.
I like that though. Molotov is great.
Yeah.
Look at all the space they've got. Oh, good peek. Good peek. Half the attack taken away, and this B main play has not netted anything for Heroic, and Dexter misses the chance.
Yeah, Dexter also dropped down to 15 HP. Nerds still good to apply some pressure in towards Dark, and this could be real tough for Nerds to deal with because there's 2 players on the other side.
Dexter
plays in Dark.
Needs to hit these shots. That's 2 times holding an angle. Someone's kind of jiggled into it, stepped into it, and still the opportunity goes to waste.
Time at 35 seconds. Rez was inside a connector, but he's actually gone back to the temple now. And this has left the B defense with only 2 players. And here come Heroic trying to split this. Nurse will become a late piece through the connector. And now that no one's there, he has an easy peek into the bomb site. He's going to make it work. So both B players go down without a fight. And that's a problem here for NiP because now they have to pull off a 3v4 retake of the B bomb site if they want to go for this. Although, Nerds got blinded.
I got tagged by his teammates flashbang there, trying to activate him for that peek. Could have just jiggled it for the information. Shush forced into aggression. Good job from Mistum.
Dude, this is utter collapse for Heroic in the post plant. From having all the advantages in the world to fumbling it. He's going to hold the cross, but he has to nail the shot. He won't. The barrel comes around. He can take it down by Wrinkle. And that's disastrous for Heroic. A 3v4 retake where NiP don't lose a single player.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, the hit onto the B bomb site is pulled off perfectly. Like, it's not going to get any better than that. And to lose that is horrifying.
Yeah,
Digits punched in.
The Nerds team flash was the first step, the first domino to fall.
I was surprised to see him swinging and motivated to go for such an aggressive commitment to that fight, though. You know, like, you can jiggle that, you spot someone, and as soon as that player knows he's been spotted, he has to be way more cautious and way more slow progressing up canals, which can chew a lot of time off the clock. You combine that into 3 misses from Dexter in the round on players kind of... This one he got jiggled out by the AWP, but ineffective AWP from Dexter in the round. Yeah, that's a great opportunity that's fallen by the wayside. And NiP, they're putting together enough rounds to make this respectable considering how it started.
You think of the context of winning that round for Heroic. They wouldn't have any money problems. Be already on 8 rounds. Pretty likely opportunity for a 9-3 scoreline. But when losing that round, they have to go for a timeout because they don't quite know what they can purchase. Then they get this kind of buyout where you've got 3 Galils, an AK, and a MAC-10. It changes the game entirely here. NiP have a beautiful opportunity, in fact, to grab 5 rounds on the CT side.
Yeah, and 4 rounds in a row to close the half would be something special. So let's see what they do. Molotov towards middle. They want to come at it aggressively. Wrinkle caught off guard. Oh, this AWP is screwed, but the AK is there for at least 1. Mistum falls back, and he's at a couple big rounds. He's going to add another one onto his tally. 7-4. It's about to be 7-5 as Nerds is in a 1v3.
That was a pretty simple half of Counter-Strike from Heroic. Rush B, rush A, rush mid. It's just very simple calls. NiP eventually figure it out. They deal with it. And they will pull 4 rounds back right at the end here. 5 total in the half from NiP. I think Heroic have got to be pretty disappointed with how that half ended, considering how strong they were to start.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you're living the dream and you're flying high when you're up 7-1, but losing the last 4 rounds of the half, it's always going to put a stain on it, no matter how good of a start you had. You're going into the second half with no momentum, where NiP figured you out and started beating you in all the fights. Missed him, stepped up massively down the stretch, which was wonderful to see. We switch sides, and Heroic's going to be on the defense, and this is an area the desk highlighted. Let's see what kind of a CT side they can bring out. Sometimes not as aggressive as other defensive sides on Anubis. We'll see what Saw has in store for the boys, what kind of a style they bring out. Like, it'd be weird to see such a highly aggressive T side and then see a very passive CT side. It'd be like whiplash.
It would be. That was unbelievably aggressive. I almost exhausted watching it.
That was your coffee to start the day.
Yeah, that was. That has definitely woken me up. All right, 7-5. Heroic still have a small lead, but NiP with the momentum. And if they win the pistol round here, that scoreline is tied up pretty quick.
All right, all right, all right.
Moses
Utility.
McConaughey. Let's go.
Utility on NiP. Smoke, flash, flash. Smoke is already put out. Fast towards the B bomb site. Here we go. We're already into it.
Nertz. He'll grab the first kill of his pistol. He'll drop behind the smoke as well. He's got some cover to play with. And yeah, good. Oh, he's going onto the platform, and Nertz just dispatches of it.
This is a great round as a defender who is here on his own, Nertz.
Yeah, Nertz moving into the bomb site now. Rez is done well, but NiP, they haven't been able to stop Nertz. They have not been able to deal with his threat and his output on the pistol. Isaac left alone. He's got a Molotov for this. There's a tap on the defuse, but no full commitment, and Nertz with a 4K in a pistol. What a hold.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Phenomenal sequence, and look at his scoreline now, 17-5. Nertz starting to take over this game. Big, big round to win, but with the bomb plant, let's see what NiP bring into the round. Good shot there, good safety falling back, and just beautiful shots being a hard target to hit. Nertz closes it out.
Fucking nice. It's because of boss man, I swear to God.
Having a good time.
Yeah, vibes seem good. NiP going for the force. AK-47 coming out for Rez. 2 Galils, Mac 10, Tech 9. Strong force buy here for NiP. Boost being deployed. Rez looking over the top mid smoke. No one from Heroic watching this. And this is going to allow Wrinkle to move forward. And kicks in. Has to pick up the info. Very comfortable inside of mid. Gets a 1-for-1. Gets traded out by Isaac.
3 rifles still on the board. Dexter at the A bomb site with Shush. Tess is coming over with an MP9 towards Temple. Nertz that B anchor, and NiP slow it down. They want the reaction, they're gonna get it. Now can they win the fight? No, not at all, and that's the bomb dropped.
Great kill from Tess. Double on the MP9, so the force bite does not work out for NiP. They're gonna be down to the full eco in the next round. Heroic will be on 9 rounds after this, but very likely 10. And that's what can happen when we get a strong start in the second half. Heroic pushing themselves ever closer.
Both pistol rounds for Heroic.
Yeah.
This is a 1-1 game. Best of 3s from here on out for both of these teams after the fact. One with elimination on the line, one with qualification on the line. And Jakob's just going to have to chill for the next 23 seconds.
Yeah, quite a long save for him. Over on the other stream, though, we've got Sashi taking on Eternal Fire in the other 1-1 record game. A lot of people surprised that Sashi were able to beat Astralis yesterday. That was a big win for them. For Eternal Fire, losing to 3D Max. So surprises on day 1 of EUB.
Counter-terrorists win.
And that coverage is brought to you by Jackie and Vince. A little bit later on today as well. Exciting game. We got Passion UA going up against Big, and that's going to be
for a spot at the major.
Spot at the major. Not only that, but going 3-0.
Yeah, puts you in the elimination stage. You'd be top 16.
I don't think anybody would have put that game together.
No, probably not. But here we are.
Okay, well, NiP, they've got some Tech 9s. They'll leave some leftover money. And Jakob, because of the save, still has the Galil. I'm just happy we haven't seen a Kixan Negev. think that would have made us all lose our minds.
No, I wouldn't mind seeing it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you like the Negev?
Not
I feel
really.
like he's the only player that picks it up.
Good flash. So many players blind. Dexter can only land the 1 kill. Molotov, deep nade is good.
Raz actually just went straight through it.
Yeah, but that nade was solid. Look at Wrinkle. Down so very low and a smoke to delay. No more progression in mid. And no utility for this NiP squad. Even with the recovered rifles, not a whole lot of tools they can use to activate them all that well. You're going to have to do a very good job of baiting Wrinkle, baiting Isaac with the P250. In fact, you might want to pass him the M4, considering he's got armor.
Yeah, Kixen just going to wait close to A main.
But Heroic is not resting on their heels. They're being proactive on the map. Double setup in A main is huge.
Well, Kixen ready to melt them away. Low HP, and then the follow-up to come in as well. Great haul from Kixen, comfortable from Heroic, limiting the casualties. They only lose Dexter. 10-5 scoreline now ringing out. And do or die time begins for NiP as they take their final timeout.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well get the conversation going for these gun rounds because it's got to begin here. Otherwise, Heroic's going to be too far ahead, both in terms of rounds and in terms of money. Exist just trying to get everyone on the same page. Who's going to step up for NiP to bring them back into this map?
I think in a number of the CT rounds, being able to pull it back was Wrinkle, right? The fact that he understood, okay, this is the game we're playing. I'm not going to get to go for my aggressive peaks and try and just take the opening kill and play a 5v4. I've just got to take some risks, jump down off of the bridge, change up the CT position, be unpredictable. So maybe it can be Wrinkle again, but he doesn't have the AWP.
Accept the chaos into your heart.
Exactly. Use it as a ladder.
Don't fight it.
Still not particularly great here for NiP in terms of a buy. You know, Jakob still has to play on the Khalil because he didn't have much residual cash to save earlier. A whole lot of util and a missed piece of utility here from NiP as well.
A very missed piece of utility. They're still going to head in this direction.
Dexter's just waiting. It's not pretty, and he goes into the fire, and Dexter is on fire. 3 kills locked in. Finally stopped by Rez. Minute 7 seconds, still so much time left in this round, but NiP have been handed a terrible round start here. Rez and Jakob with nothing to do. As Jakob is stuck in mid, as Rez gets taken down from a boosted position of Nerds who just gets out of that.
This is what I'm talking about with Dexter. Look how good he looks in that kind of a situation when there's a little bit of chaos and he's just like in the mood of like, I'm going to make a play, I'm going to be the aggressor. But you park him holding an angle and he seems to struggle in those fights, which always seems weird to me.
Oh, sneaky. Oh my god, Jakob actually turned around for that. So it kicks on to go down. Obviously not looking at a round victory, but still a little highlight shot from Jakob.
And avoids getting knifed.
Yeah.
Which is always nice. Now he does have the bomb. If he can find this kill on Tessus, he has an avenue to get in and plant at the B bomb site, get his team some bonus money.
Oh.
Looks the wrong direction. Tessus with an easy kill. It's 11-5, all on the back of Dexter's triple kill.
Yeah, without that bonus money you're talking about with the bomb plant, you just see NiP just have under the amount they need to get the AKs and Kevlar. So rough round again coming right up here for NiP, but this is a sick round for Dexter going into the Molotov. They weren't ready for it.
Middle one.
It's like, because in the moment it's like, it's almost like, I would imagine as an AWPer in that kind of a situation, your brain just kind of turns off and you're playing by intuition, right?
Oh,
you're just going by feel. And he seems to be a very strong AWPer off feel.
Yeah, I think the way you could describe Dexter is just raw. He isn't refined. He's just a beast when he gets going.
Yeah, but in my mind, that's kind of a problem just due to the experience that he's got. You know, this feels like this is just Dexter.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah. A man known for his slaps.
And I'm not trying to pile on him or anything like that. It's just he has the quality that makes him dangerous in that scenario. And just, you know, kind of, we've seen oppers over the years. Many of them have struggled to like be an opper who can just hold the line and be patient and hit the consistent shots.
NiP going to go for a commitment into the A bomb site. Kixan takes the initial attention away from Shoosh, which frees him up, and he really should have got more than just the one. And so suddenly there's a chance for NiP as they move into the site. 2 Deegs, but Nerds cutting out Rez.
Dexter's still here.
And Dexter is going to chime in through Heaven. Misstep dropped. Isaac left alone with a 1v3. And he eventually goes through the smoke to his death, as it is now map point for Heroic. 12-5 over NiP. And this is at least the money returning to the NiP squad, but it's got to be fantastic. It has to be perfect for the rest of this T side just to get overtime. I think the loss against Big yesterday was concerning for Heroic.
Sure.
Especially in the way that they lost to Big. Maui and I were watching it and saying it feels like a 13-11 for, you know, Heroic 13-11 where they're just about going to script. No, they got kind of drawn down in the second half of that game. And Big is a team that Heroic should be beating. So it's good to see them return to some form today.
Yeah, but Big's a squad that, you know, I think hold the phone.
Okay, Shush unleashed. And Heroic about to close this map out straight away. There's no time for your point, Jason. NiP don't allow it.
Yeah, it's fine. Kicks in, going to be pushing up. Heroic this whole game have been extremely confident, making sure they're getting into fights, they're getting stuck in, not giving a whole lot of room for NiP to breathe. And certainly in this second half, they've sensed that weakness and the advantage they have over NiP, and they have just kind of pushed it right in their face. Dexter holding in mid. Isaac is here. Rez is going to join up with him. As Dexter falls back to a safer position.
Rez waits for Isaac's walk around the corner, and it looks like it's about to come soon. Rez just making sure he comes with him. They jump across, and they actually get by the scope. Into the camera, Dexter repositions, follows up, and knocks them out. 13-5 win here for Heroic. They will go 2-1, taking a comfortable victory with a scoreline of 13-5 over the Ninjas in Pyjamas. And that's a better Heroic performance, right, Richard?
Yeah, listen, I don't know about that, Dinko, because it's all relative, isn't it? You know what I mean? In the same way when I take you out drinking and you're